It's a near impossibility to try to encapsulate in a single word or phrase or idea the full meaning of one book of the Torah. Yet many people, scholars of the past, have indicated that if the third book of the Torah, Vayikra, stands for anything, it is the laws of purity, which proliferate throughout almost every chapter of this book. That is the reason they cite why yeshiva children who go to Talmud Torah, who first learn the rudiments of what Judaism is, study this book, because they share that bond of commonality with the book. Both are pure. There's one powerful aspect to this reading that is seen in the first and second Pesukim, sentences, that I want to share with you today. In the second one, we see the verse, Adam ki yakriv mikem, korban, when an individual wants to, of their own volition, give a sacrifice to God. And it doesn't say a Jew, it doesn't say a man or a woman or a child, a slave. It says when any person wants to give a sacrifice. The point is not lost on the rabbis of ancient times, for they extrapolated from that pasuk the idea that anybody who wants to give thanks to God is entitled to do so. Jew, Gentile, believer, unbeliever, makes no difference. If a person has been touched by God, they may offer a gift of thanks back to the Lord for having been touched. What does it take for an individual to feel like they have been touched by the Lord? And this is where the very first word of the book spins into action. But let me take you to another place before we go there. The two sons of Aaron, whose names were Nadav and Avihu, died when they entered into the tabernacle. One suspects that the reason that they died was because they came in at an inopportune time. They weren't called, they weren't asked. They simply charged right in unannounced, believing that it was their place, their time, and they could do as they wished. Why would they even think such a thing? Because, says Hatam Sofer, among others, that they saw Moses enter into the sanctuary many times, and they just saw him walk in unannounced, unasked for, and then come out not only unscathed, but enlightened by the experience of having met God face to face again. What they didn't realize was that Moses was called every single time. They didn't hear Moses being called, only Moses heard the voice of God. And they believed that since Moses did not hear anything, because they didn't, they could just walk in as they pleased as well. So the underlying principle of this reading is that we have to listen intently to the Word of God. We have to listen and ask for, to be touched by God. And that means opening the heart. That means asking searing, open, beautiful questions that are meaningful to us and that lift us up to a place where God can have a dialogue with us. Listening and hearing and being open are all interconnected. May you have a blessed week, a wonderful Shabbos. May you feel it coursing through your body, your soul, and your mind.